Chris Price here, Keller Williams Realty and the Indy Property Source. Plan on putting together a few videos just for the public, for fellow brokers, um, past clients, future clients, folks in our office, things like that, just to discuss topics, some more fun than the others, some relative to what's going on in the market, things that we see going on. So just thought that I might give it a try with maybe like a video type blog. So wanted to do that. Today's installment, I think I'm going to talk a little bit just about what is going on in the market today. It's a pretty exciting, pretty crazy time. I just read an article today that said that it was going to be the best real estate market in over a decade. So that puts us into the early to mid 2000s when we saw a lot of the same things happening with home prices going up, home builders not being able to catch up with demand, and just an overall shortage, I guess, of inventory. So that's kind of where it looks like we're at right now. How did we get here? That's a lot of the questions that I had, because just 5-6 years ago, it was quite a different story to tell when we sat and met with consumers. So, a lot of things I think played into it. I think back in 2013, we did start to see some of the recovery start to happen. I mean, interest rates have stayed super low for a long time. The Fed's just rose the rates here recently just by a small amount, but low interest rates really didn't drive it, I don't think, although that helped once the market got momentum. But one thing we saw, like I was saying, 2013 was investor activity had picked up. A lot of the big hedge funds had exited out of Wall Street, so to speak, or at least looked to diversify their investments in other places. And the single-family rental market was a big part of that. And these hedge funds came in 2013, 2014, and still today, and were buying in cash, and they were buying in the price ranges that first-time home buyers were buying in, so that $100,000 to $150,000 range, homes that were 10, 15 years old in the suburbs, and 3 to 4 bedrooms, that was a big part of the market. And once those started being bought and the demand was there, people started listing their homes, selling directly to the hedge funds. So home buyers were then competing with the hedge funds that had cash to purchase. So it made for an interesting time that we saw home prices start to go up, not solely because of that, but I think that was a big part of it. And so those institutional investors nationwide buying in certain markets, they were, causing homes to get bought up, and then home buyers had to look quicker and look elsewhere, or maybe go back to rent for another year. And that has continued on, and it's expanded outside of that price range. So, and those buyers have continued to buy. They've, in essence, they've portfolioed those homes into a national portfolio that meets certain criteria, almost like any other securitized product, investment product that could be resold. And, so from there, they continue to do that. So home buyers right now in the $100,000 to $150,000 range, even up to $200,000 to $250,000, they're seeing, quite a bit of demand. And I think pent up from 2013, 2014, 15, and now into 16, there's been people that were somewhat skeptical still of the housing market, or they got beat out by those hedge funds early on, and now they're trying to get in. So there's a lot of good news. There's a lot of momentum within the housing market. So a lot of people trying to enter into the housing market, and there's not enough product that we're seeing that is available. So thus, plays the part of home builders. So home builders have, for the past few years been in pretty good position. Those that have set their business up right and have had developments in process. But I think that they were all surprised that there was just such a pent up demand. The builders we talked to are just slammed on the weekends and can't build enough. Spec homes don't last very long. So if you're a home buyer, I mean, I think it's important to know that these are the conditions of the market today, that you're more than likely going to see homes that are great condition, that get listed, priced right, that come out on the market and are sold within the first day. I think I can count, 3 times on our team in the past week that happened. Probably more than that, 4 or 5 times where home was listed, boom, sold right away. So I don't know that those market conditions will last forever, but that's where we're at right now. We're in the busy, spring season coming up, and so people are, really getting aggressive. So that's one thing that points to having an aggressive full-time agent or a real estate team, like we have at the Indy Property Source, working for you, to find those deals, to be networking, to be talking to builders, to find out what homes are coming up. In our case, we list a lot of homes in that price range, so we know we kind of have a heads up on what's coming up, that we're getting ready to list. So that's important when you're talking to a realtor. And then when you're a home seller, it's important to know what kind of market you're in. It's quite different than it was in 2014 for you. Your CMA, your home valuation, might be quite different than it was then. And we've seen that a lot where people are pricing at the top of the market, but if they have their home marketed well, so they have full market exposure, they have it staged well, and it's in great condition, and they put a premium on the price, a lot of times right now they're getting it. And so that's something too, where you bring in a team, or you bring in a real estate expert to come look at your house and give you an idea of what's going on in the market, today, based on the same comparables that an appraiser is going to look at, and we could help you determine what's going on in your local neighborhood, based on the type of home you have. So hopefully that helps give some insight on what's going on in the market today. And I'll just try my hand at this, and we'll see where it goes, but we'll try to cover a few different topics. And anytime you can visit us on the web. We're at theindypropertysource.com. If you're interested in setting up a showing, a consultation, a CMA, to find out maybe what your home's worth, to talk about building, to talk about real estate investing. We've got a lot of different types of real estate investments that we're involved in. Any avenue as it relates to the industry, we've got an expert on our team that we can match you up with. Give us a call, 317-886-8477. You can also visit us on Facebook at our Facebook page, the Indy Property Source. Thanks a lot and have a great day.